The preliminary of the 10 metres for women is the first job in hand, but the second session of the day will also have the final of the mixed 3-metre synchro event. So a big day up on the platform for the women, who will have to manage their whole schedule right through to this afternoon's final. Always an early start here for the competitors, many of whom will have been here soon after 7 o'clock this morning. We're just past 20 past 9 in the morning here in the UK. Plenty for the spectators to enjoy throughout the day. And the crowds who turned up yesterday certainly got their money's worth, especially the home supporters. It was a great day for the Great Britain team with 2 gold medals and a mighty popular bonus bronze for the local hero. Key part, we're just being introduced to the officials and the judges. No official introductory parade in the preliminary competitions, so we'll be cracking straight into it.
Judge 7, and our reserve, Hannah Picton. We now turn our event over to our referee.
"17 divers in all. Random dive order, which is previously drawn. The cut is 12, remember. "15 we've been finally qualified out, so correct myself there. So that's even tougher on the 3 who miss out. Quite often the entry lists are updated as the week goes on. There's a preliminary entry confirmed about a week or so ago. And then on the day, final confirmation. This will also decide the dive order for this afternoon's final as well. They go off in the final in reverse order. Right, we're ready to go then in the 10-metre platform for women. The preliminary event, 5 rounds of diving. First up for us is Sofia Liskun of Ukraine, who will open with a back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists in the piked position. Well, she's already had a busy week. Got off to a cracking start for her with that gold in the team event with Oleg Kulady. And she was in the 10-metre synchro as well yesterday, finishing 5th. 3.2 degree of difficulty.
Representing Germany,
72 points is a good solid opener. Elena Vassen also has a medal in the bag already with that bronze in the 10-metre synchro. She's got a back 2.5 somersault piked. It was a bit of a heavy landing, that. They've been in the pool for a good couple of hours, most of them, getting a feel, getting warmed up. But it's very different when you finally have to take part, and heavy rotation there and a good slap on the water brings it out of 46.40. Won't want another dive like that. First appearance at the championships for Anna Shuinishena. Opening with a 3.0 degree of difficulty dive. Forward 3.5 somersault, piked The judges break the dive down into its sections of takeoff and the positions in the air as well, so it's not all about the landing, but it always creates such an impression, and not really getting the perfect angle on her entry there, and that too is down in the 40s, 45. 60s is very solid, 70s is really good. Tariffs here going up to about 3.2 is average, and down to 2.6 for the Netherlands. Celine van Daan in the 2.5 somersault piked. It's a better entry, certainly. Experienced diver, 25 years of age, been competing at European Championships since 2012. Doing her best to hold that line right through the entry. Sevens is solid, 58.80, just 2.8 the tariff. Remember, Ireland have a female competitor to go with the couple of men who've been led by Oliver Dingley on the springboard, so their team is growing. Tanya just 16. This is her senior competition debut, her first time at this level. Big moment for the young teenager. Reverse 2.5 somersault tucked. Boy, she'll want to get off to a good start. Well, she's off and running. Not the cleanest. Quickly through the tucks. You can see she never really pulled out of the rotation sufficiently. And 37.80. Not what she wanted really, but she's up there. First of the two British divers, Robin Birch, competed in the team event, just missed out on the medals, finishing 4th. Arm stand back, double somersault, 1.5 twists, 3.2. She's got 3.2 degree of difficulty dives. If you're not used to diving, this is the movement that really intimidates every newcomer to the sport when watching. Got to show control in that arm stand position and then release. Look for the extra push off with the legs and the arms. She goes. We're all suffering a similar problem at the moment, which is a fundamental one of putting the brakes on and stopping the rotation. Plenty of other bits to judge. 3 6s, 57.60. Not a disaster. And the second British diver just having a final towel down. They're obsessive by that. Those little absorbent towels they all have. Chuck it over the side. Lois Toulson, 18 years, and with a gold medal in the bag from the women's 10-metre synchro, where her and Aiden Cheng produced a storming final dive. Forward 3.5 somersault piked. Well, that gold medal performance and that final dive will have boosted her confidence going into this. 2 golds at last year's European Championships, this event, and in the mixed synchro, so she will be right up for this competition. 58.50 is an okay start. Maria Kershaw, 2 good days. Team event silver. synchro bronze. Boy, she'd like to complete her set. She's been a European champion in the synchro event, but not individually, in with 2.5 somersault piked. 2 days of diving behind her will certainly help when it comes to finding her rhythm. Nice dive. Nice set of marks, 3.8, 67.20. Now we have 2 sisters from Norway competing in this event. Hella Tuksen is the younger, 16 years of age. This is her senior debut. So she'll be very pleased to get that dive out of the way. She was at the European Junior Championships. This is a big step up. It's not a bad entry at all. 6s pretty well, 48.60. Something to build on. Scandinavian contingent has been busy. Ellen Eck, her 3rd event in 3 days. Trying to get off the bottom of the pile. 7th out of 7 in both the team and the women's 10-meter synchro. Forward 2.5 somersault with a twist piked. Well, that was a pretty stylish effort. Made a very nice ripping sound on entry. Coach seems to be thinking, oh, that was rather good. Lovely clean entry like that. What a boost that is for her. Let's have a look at the scores, make sure they confirm it. 7.5s and an 8, 65, 25. That's a good start. And the elder of the 2 sisters, Anna, forward 3.5 somersault tucked. Same dive as her sister. Just that continued rotation, spoiling it a little. Just gave it a rather untidy appearance. Marked down to 40.50. Going Norway, Sweden, Norway, Sweden. Isabel Svantesson, 21 years of age. Now to make the 10-meter final would be a big result for her. In with 2.5 somersault piked. Again, she's produced a decent start. Coming off at a slight angle, our overhead camera reveals. We get all those angles, of course, which the judges don't. 53.20. Yulia Timoshenina from Russia. 2 medals already. Team bronze, synchro silver. Forward 3.5 somersault piked. An individual gold would be a real bonus to her medal collection. 20 years of age, plenty of experience behind her. 58.50. very experienced Naomi Batki, 30. It's quite a veteran by diving standards for the Italian. Forward 3.5 somersault, piked. Hanging around at the top of the platform. Well, she's won this event in the past, back in 2011 in her home country at Turin. Nods to 54 sixes is possibly what she thought it was. Room for improvement. And Lithuania, with a rare competitor at these championships, Genevieve Green-Angarama. Well, that back 2.5 somersault with half a twist in it, and a piked position is 2.6, which is down the bottom of the scale. All her dives are in the 2s in terms of degree of difficulty, reflecting just where she is, so she has to deliver them quite decently. 6s and a 5.5, 45.50. Not the worst, it's all about finishing 12th, remember. Our opening round, taking about 12 minutes to get through. And Sophia Lisken comfortably in the lead there with a 72. Kershaw, Eck, good opening dive. And Russia, Norway and Ireland's representatives all need to get their skates on a little, but early doors, as they say. Niskun, 16-year-old, showing some form and style. Inward 3.5 somersault, tucked at 3.2 is her second dive. On the nails, all ready for action. Oh dear me. She's had such a good championships and looked really solid. But that went absolutely all over the shop. Look at that, barely completed. Oh, that's really put under some pressure. 27.20. Good job she got 72 on the board in the first one. Well, she can recover from that, but cannot afford a repeat. Just as a little reminder to the rest, how easy it is to undo all the hard work. Elena Vassen from Germany, forward 3.5 somersault, piked. .46.40 to open with. Capable of higher returns than that. She'll want to start moving up the scale. Just a little bit of extra rotation there on the entry, but 58.50 is a definite improvement. The younger of the two Russian divers, Anna Shuinishena. She's got an inward 3.5 somersault tucked, just below the cut, 13th. Well, that won't have done her cause any good either. Another disappointing finish to the dive. Comes out of the tuck. And just never seems to have the strength to hold that entry position. And she's down in the 30-40s. Always the reminder in these preliminaries, keep the disasters. Celine ran down. Back 2.5 somersault pint. Tall, powerful figure on the platform there. It's going to create a bigger rip on entry than some of the very, very diminutive divers. Solid that though, 56.55. A lot of power. Now Tanya Watson, having got that debut dive out of the way, what can the Irish girl produce with a back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists? This is her most complex dive. Not too bad. Well, she's seen the others with more experience really struggle. Let's see what she's got, 48. Not huge, but better. Got to keep going in these competitions. You really don't know what the others are going to do. It's not just about you, but you can't control the other elements, of course. Robin Birch from Great Britain, in with 3.5, tucked. This is a 3-2 as well. Took her time at the top of the platform. Jane Figueiredo, a very influential British coach, all know that it wasn't the greatest entry. Had a big effort to compose herself, but again, rather collapsed into the water. And a 33.60. Well, it's going to make the competition interesting, even in a rather negative fashion. Lois Toulson, the defending champion. 5th after the opening dive, reverse 2.5 somersault in tuck. Nice. That applause a little more convincing, I think. Looking very businesslike in her manner. Plenty of time to really hold a great entry position all the way through. There's a bit of quality about that dive. All those 8s, 67.20, very good. Alia Kurchu. Germany, 2nd. Up into the arm stand, followed by the back double somersault, 1.5 twists. No pike or tuck in this one. Pretty accomplished effort. 56, 5.5. You want to keep those off the card. The older sister still to go. This is the 16-year-old Hella Sigson. came up a bit short again, didn't really get into that key entry position. She also dives at 3 meters, 47.85. Now, Elenek had a very good start. 65.25. Third after the opening round. Now she's got an inward 2.5 somersault pint. 2.8. So not a high degree of difficulty. So the execution needs to be pretty decent to get the number of points you'd be looking for out of the pike, and working hard on her entry line. 54.60. Judges have not been chucking scores around so far in these championships. 8s have been fairly rare, so they've set the bar quite high to get big marks. Now Anna has back 2.5 somersault piked. She's just out the frame. 20-year-old. .40.50 on her first dive. That looked a better effort. Up into the 50s now, 56.55. Isabel Svanterson, 9th. Forward 3.5 somersault piked. She's one of the divers really aiming for a final as a big reward. Well, she's gone for that. She'd like to have got a little bit more upright on the entry. You can see they're just coming out a little bit away from the board. They don't want them to go too far out into the pool either. 49.50. Keeping herself in the hunt and avoiding a big nightmare 20 or 30 point dive. Looking for more Yulia Timoshinina. 5th to the opening dive, inward 3.5 somersault tucked for the Russian girl. Oh, no. She completely lost the plot on that. 2 silvers and a bronze 12 months ago here, but I mean, that was really awful. 2080. Well, she's going to have to go right to the top of her game now to make sure she doesn't have a catastrophe. Pushing her luck a little. Naomi Batki. Born in Budapest in Hungary. Moved to Italy at the age of 3. She's got a back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. Well, her mother, Ibolia Nagy, was a Hungarian platform diver who competed in the '92 Olympic Games in that magnificent setting in Barcelona. So she won't be short of advice, and they'll know that wasn't flawless dive. 49.60. marks in the 50 should keep you pretty solid in terms of qualifying. Genevieve from Lithuania, just above the qualifying line in 12th. She's got to get into the arm stand for a back double somersault with half a twist height. She was pretty quickly into it and pretty quickly out of it as well. Push-off looked a little ungainly, but marks aren't too bad. 53.20. 43.20, sorry. Can't read this morning. Still early.
No?
2 rounds. Tulson to the top. Kershaw, Elenek still going very well indeed. And Isabel Svanterson will be pleased to be in the top 12. While under pressure, well, Robin Birch not doing too well, and certainly Yulia Timoshyanina has dropped right down the rankings there and needs to get her skates on.
Round 3. Sophia, arm double somersault.
Sophia Lisken had a 27.20 shocker in the previous round. She's still in 8th, so if she can just put that one out of her mind and concentrate on this arm stand and back double somersault with the 1.5 twists, free position, then it won't have proved too costly. Needs to be straight back on the bike. Quite a long way back off the edge there. I think she'd be looking to play very safe with that dive and just get her score ticking along again.
6.5, 6.5, 7, 7.
It's pretty well out in the middle of the pack. 65-60, well, that's pretty reassuring for her after the previous effort. Elena Vassen has avoided such disasters so far without reaching great heights. We've got a few of these to see in this round. That entry could have been cleaned up a bit. 60-80 though will see her through very comfortably if she can maintain that sort of level. Chuini Shayna, 17-year-old, 15th. Not too much room for error. It's that arm stand again. 3 somersaults though following here. More complex dive than the other arm stand dives. Oh, she never got through them soon enough and lost her momentum. Going to be a struggle for her with 2 dives left. Not the most convincing launch, and that was way off. 28.05. Tough morning. Celine Van Down going well in 4th, 25 years of age. Competing at these championships since 2012, so she knows the drill. Into that arm stand, back to the back double somersault with 1.5 twists, the 3-2. Holds a good position. Pretty decent effort that all round. No glaring errors, 62-40. It's her best score yet. Now, young Tanya Watson could do with profiting from the disasters of others. To repeat, she doesn't have the highest degree of difficulty programme. This inward 2.5 piked is a 2.8. She's got 48 in the last dive from a 3.2. It's a very respectable effort for the 16-year-old. First European Championships. Nice tidy pike. Nothing too shabby about the entry either. She's got 7s, which are not thrown around here, and 58.80 from a 2.8 is a good return. So, and the coach looks pretty pleased. Robin Birch in 11th place is sailing a little close to the wind after a poor second dive. Reverse 2.5 somersault tucked to get back on track. And she certainly does. She was a world-class artistic gymnast. Competed at European and World Championships in that sport before a big change of direction. She's 24. So the somersaulting should be comfortable for her. 54.60 with all that background. 54.60 is much better. Now looking on good form, Louise Tolson, the synchro gold medalist. Still only 18 years of age, though. She's got an arm stand here, and the back double somersault 1.5. Just needs to sustain her form. Oh no! Never got up there. Had to release. Well, he's smiling about it. She's got plenty of credit in the bank, but that was really a make and mends. Well, she just about scrapes 22.40, but she was pretty close to a no dive there, but I managed to do something with it. Again, we're getting a reminder of what these preliminaries are all about. Do that in a final. Olympic champions have messed up qualifiers and not got through, so it is not a given, as Maria Kirchhoff from Germany will know. Forward 3.5 somersault for her. Just carrying on the rotating there in the entry, 45. Not many really holding their form and keeping it together. Everybody looking a bit fallible this morning. Hella Tuxen, 16-year-old, 48-47, so in her range she has at least been a bit more consistent. Reverse 2.5 somersault tucked is a 2.8. Oh, she's avoiding the disasters of others, at least reflecting her standard at the moment. It's not a bad entry position at all. She looks pretty pleased. Well, 7s and a 6.5 is very respectable. 57.40, very encouraging for her, best yet. Ellen Eck has given the impression that she's enjoying herself. She's third, reverse 2.5, tucked, 2.8. Right in the zone. A little bit more splash than ideal. She knows she's having a reasonable day, but that spoiled it rather at the end. 42 is her poorest. Anna, the older sister. Reverse 2.5 somersault. She's 9th, 3rd dive. Again, she took her time. Her thigh's a big slap on the way down just to trigger the right movements.
6.5, 6.
Not a bad entry. 50-40, solid. Isabel Svantersson. Not going badly. Reverse 2.5 somersault tucked. Hold your form and first 10-meter final awaits. Came out quite a way into the pool. Not catastrophic in itself, but one of the many things they're looking at. Keep that tuck as tight as possible. 49. Now, under more pressure than she might have expected, in 14th is Yulia Timoshenina from Russia. Well, the plot well and truly lost at the moment. This is way below expectations for somebody with 2 medals already in these championships, maybe. She's just a little tired today, who knows, but she's got nowhere near completing that dive. 26.40. When it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Me. Italian 6th. Has the arm stand at the back double somersault with 1.5 twists. .2 here. She's a power diver, so there's always going to be a different sort of rip sound on the entry, but it was pretty respectable. 6.5s, 62.40. And she's smiling. Genevieve from Lithuania, just above the line in 12th. She's got a forward 3.5 somersault, tucked. Well, she's got through that again. A couple of dives in the 40s. She could just ring a few more points. That would really give her a boost. It's only 2.7. So the execution needs to be pretty high. She's got it in the 6s, 48.60. Accumulating valuable points. I do like to see them enjoying themselves. And Celine from the Netherlands leads from the front. That's changed it all. Lewis Toulson dropping right down. Sweden, Norway doing well into that. Robin Birch dicing with death. Tanya Watson just about holding on, but Angarama from Lithuania is there. And the two Russian girls having a complete nightmare. Miles behind. Well, the two Russians will be able to console themselves, but that's about all you can say for the Russian effort so far. They have justifiably high expectations when they come to these championships. Judges getting a run out as well. They need to be informed too. All the tablets there with the marks being fed through to the highly complex, to some of us, information system, which provides all the information. Got the bits of paper ready if it all falls down. And Sophia Liskut back on track in her third round. Forward 3.5 somersault piked. Second round was her big problem. She's managed to put that behind her fairly successfully. 63. Nice and solid. Elena Vasson next up. She's got a back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists, piked. Could have done with a slightly better entry position. She's been getting steadily stronger. That one is a bit of a dip in form. Back down to 51.20. She's got a decent number of points on the board, though. Now the Russian girls well out of it. This is the 17-year-old. Made her senior championship debut last year. Got a silver, 17 years still. She's got a back 3.5 somersault tucked, and she's 15th out of 15. She seemed to give it plenty of attack. A strange splash in it, so it looked as though it was going okay, but then just hit the water heavily in the final stage of the entry, and she's down to 44.55, and that's not going to transform her position. No such problems for Celine. And down at the top of the table at the moment. Forward 3.5 somersault piked. Plenty of attack through those somersaults. Steady wins the race for her. 58, 56, 62 so far. Could have been tidier, that entry. She's dropped a little bit to 49.50. Well, it's all new to young Tanya Watson at 16 years of age. 17 on Christmas Eve. Early present, might be a place in the final. Giving herself a chance in 12th. On her senior competition debut, back 2.5 somersault piked. Well, she's holding her nerve and showing some form. Now, the most impressive thing is she's got better. 37, 48, 58. Her marks have gone so far. Well, 50, 75. This keeps her into it. .24-year-old Robin Birch, the former gymnast, 11th, has very little to spare with a forward 3.5 somersault piked. That's a bit more like it. Bit of relief there in that applause. She had that 33.60 in the second round, a couple of 50s, so she just hasn't really produced one classy dive that would lift her score. That's decent at 58.50. Lois Toulson was looking the part until round 3, when she completely fouled up. Inward 3.5 somersault tucked as a 3.2 for the synchro gold medalist. Well, how you react to when it all goes wrong is a real test. And the 18-year-old has certainly just passed that. That's a very positive response and a look of some relief as she comes out with a 67.20. The smiling Maria Kirchow from Germany, 28. 9th European Championship. She's second, back 2.5 somersault piked. Sounded pretty decent, which isn't everything. Good tight pike. Just a little bit more vertical, but she made the entry quite clean, 56.55. Better than her previous dive. Hella Tuxen, as we get into the Scandinavian section of the competition. Inward 2.5 somersault piked. She's probably a little stronger at springboard than platform. She's not having a bad day at all here. She's kept her standards pretty decent, 49. Avoiding the big mistakes. Not dissimilar story for Ellen Eck, who's a very respectable 6th. She's got a back 2.5 somersault piked. 2.9. That's decent again. She's competed in a couple of Grand Prix this year without really setting the world alight, but it's all valuable experience. 56.55. She got off to a good start, which I think has really held her in good stead. And the older sister, Anna. They've been opponents and teammates in synchro events, the two sisters. She's got an inward 2.5 somersault piked. She's 10th. Not being rushed. Really trying to get in the zone there. Got to go soon. Worth the wait? Well, that's up to the judges. Decent pike position, but the entry spread on the marks from 4.5 to 6. It's all about opinion. 46-20. Isabel Svanteson, 8th, which would be a good effort. Back 2.5 somersault piked. She too has been consistent at her level. 52, 49, 49. She can keep up that level. That's a bit below with a 44.95. She's still got one to go, of course. Giving herself a chance, still competing. I'm not quite sure what Yulia Tymoshenina can do about all this. She's 14th. She's got a 3.1 arm stand forward double somersault with a twist. She's got a 3-2 to come, 2 blinders, and it could all change. But boy, she's got some work. After 2 terrible dives, she just needs to get a good one away. Better, but not great. Some problems with the entry. 52.70 gets her back, but she'll be looking very anxiously at that scoreboard. She's still got something to do. Good dive by Naomi Batke in the last round. This is another 3-2. It's the inward 3.5 somersault this time, tucked. Third competition in 3 days for her. Quite pacey through her somersaults there. Not a bad entry either. Giving herself room. 67.20. Put a spring in her step, quite literally by the look of it. And Genevieve Angelama from Lithuania, just agonizingly the wrong side of the line. If she can do something with this back 2.5 somersault piked. Gave the surface of the water a good old smack there with her lower legs. Comes up smiling, but 34.80 won't do much for her humour. She's struggling a little bit, I think. Let's see where we are. 4 out of 5 rounds in this preliminary of the 10 metres platform for women. Batke, Lisken, Van Down, Kershaw, all going well. So too Eck still there. The 2 British girls have pulled themselves together. Svanteson is still hanging in there. So too Tanya Watson and Anna Tucson there. It's a big gap though to 13th, 21, and Tymoshenina and Tymoshenina, not their day.
Enjoy your tickets. So the special thanks to the audience who wants to bring their granddad to the finals. We also have tickets for you and your granddad to the finals this week.
Final round of dives. Sophia, reverse 2.5 somersaults with tuck.
Final round of 5 dives in this preliminary. No time for disasters this. Sofia Liskun from Ukraine has a reverse 2.5 somersault tucked. She's had one poor dive. And she has put that behind her with a good response in the previous two. Team event gold medalist. She's coming out a little bit sideways off the platform there, but I'll choose a different position to dive with from the platform. 51.80. Not a storming finish, but it's okay. Elena Vassen with 2.5 somersault piked. 18-year-old comfortably in 6th. Just missed out on a 10-metre medal in the World Junior Championships recently. It's a pretty untidy entry. She was World Junior Champion in 2016 in that under-18 category. 47.60. Again, a rather scrappy finish. Anna Chewinishena, 17-year-old. Not really found it at all. Back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. She wanted to get a decent final effort in. Well, she's not managed it though at all. She's not really got one good dive away. 28 was her worst, but she struggled from beginning to end, and that's another 32, which is just not the scoring required. Businesslike in the way she checked her strapping, probably for the nth time. Celine Van Down. Well, she's got the experience, and it has showed so far. Dipped a bit with her previous dive, down to 49, back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. She's 3rd at the moment. And a very solid final dive. She's been in the last 3 European finals at 10 metres. 9th is her best to date, so this has been a pretty decent morning for her. And the final marks in the 6.5s for 62.40. Again, not many 8s around. 7's been strong in this competition so far. Now Tanya Watson has a real chance. She's 11th. She's got a forward 3.5 somersault tucked. She was in the recent World Junior Championships. Got in the final, was 12th. So this senior final would be a big step for her. Dives out of Southampton, even though she's representing Ireland here. Forward 3.5. Now the entry went awry. Depends what those around her do. There's a bit of a gap there for her, so depends how much she can scrape together with this one. Just very careful, very safely back a long way from the edge of the platform for the takeoff, but the entry fell away rather. 37.80. That's the mark she started with. Now she'll have to wait. She could be okay. Robin Birch from Great Britain up to 8th. Poor second dive, but not really set the world alight. Back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. Looking for a good dive to finish. That looked better. should be safely through to later on this afternoon, and needs to just get that poor dive away. Although that was messy at the end. Judge is still not impressed. 46-40. Not her worst. Now it's Toulson. Seventh, 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. Good recovery dive in the last round. And that's a good way to sign off. Nice and pacey. And a positive entry there. 68-80. It's a strong final 2 dives. Just needs to sort that third one out. Maria Kershaw looks pretty confident. She strides forward for her back 2.5 somersault with 1.5 twists. Pint position, she's 4th. And no mistakes with her final dive. No mistakes figuratively, that is, rather than literally. Sure, the judges will find something that could have been improved. $57.60. That will do the job for her. Hella, the younger Tuxen from Norway, 9th. Back 2.5 somersault, 1/2 twist. She's got through her dives satisfactorily. We're a bit prettier in that pike position, tighter. 42.90 is her weakest so far, but it was only a 2.6, remember. That's safe, you should be okay. Lynette got off to that good start and has steadied herself. She's got a forward 3.5 somersault piked in a very impressive 5th place so far. Well, she doesn't need a huge point score to give herself a comfortable position later this afternoon, so should have done the job, but she wouldn't want to have been relying on that execution if she'd have been under pressure. It's just a 42, so there's plenty of work to do with it. Anna Tuxen. She's under some pressure. She's got a bit of margin for error, but she is 12th. Back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists. It's her 3.2 dive. Well, that was the last thing she needed. Oh dear. Now, what if she scraped together from this one? That might open the door. Oh, there was no shape or form at all to that entry. Fell into the water at the end, 28.80. Spoiled some solid work, such a shame for her. Can't take anything for granted here. Svanterson, 10th, forward 2.5 somersault with a 1 twist piked. Doesn't hold back. Not the neatest in the world, but not short on effort. 44.95. Should be okay. 14th. We never expected the two Russians to be right down the bottom of the order. Back 2.5 somersault, 1.5 twists for Yulia Timoshina. Team bronze, synchro silver. Flying solo's been a real struggle. And again, she far from nailed that. You can see she's attacking it, trying to get points back on the board, but the second and third dives in the 20s were disastrous for her. 46.40, that's about as low as she would have expected to get away with. Now looking to lead the field is Naomi Batki, 30, senior player here, Italian. Reverse 2.5 somersault tucked. Didn't quite get the vertical angle she was looking for, but she's very strong the way she holds her entry position, so it does the best with where she is. There's no collapse or disintegration into the water. 46.20. That's dropped her down the ranking, I would have thought. Now, she's 13th. She's got a reverse 2.5 somersault tucked. It's 2.8. She really deliver here. Quite a heavy splash. Down to the maths here for the Lithuanian girl, 19 years of age. Comes out to the tuck. Angle wasn't too bad, 37.80. I think she's just missed the boat there in 13th, which will be harsh. But that's exactly what it is in these qualifiers. It's all about what it says on the tin. You have to qualify. Don't have to dazzle. You just have to be better than three others. Be some big conversations in the Russian camp. Timoshina looking pretty glum about it all after two very decent days. He was disappointed to miss out the final dive in the team, but Bears has nothing to today. Here we get the confirmation. Van Dalen then leads. Toulson pulled right back up. Kershaw, Lisken, Batki, Vassen, Eck had a good day. Birch, Heller, Toulson, Svanterson, they're all safely there. The big news will come in the second page of the caption. Tanya Watson makes her first final, and so does the other Toulson sister, Angelama, and the two Russians miss out. What a surprise there, right at the bottom of the table in 14th and 15th. Timoshina and Shuinishena will not be back later today.